Ever wondered how plants survive in the harsh desert conditions? Welcome to the desert, a world of relentless sun, scarce water, and survival on a razor's edge. Yet, life here has found a way to flourish. This is the realm of desert plants, masters of adaptation who've rewritten the rules of photosynthesis to thrive. They've tweaked the dark reactions, the less-known half of photosynthesis, to outsmart their arid surroundings. Stay tuned as we delve into the intriguing world of desert plant survival. Desert plants have evolved to maximize carbon fixation. Now, you might be wondering, how do they do that? Well, let's dive into the fascinating world of photosynthesis to find out. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants, algae, and some bacteria convert light energy, usually from the sun, into chemical energy in the form of glucose or other sugars. This process is crucial for life on Earth as it provides the oxygen we breathe and the food we eat. But for plants living in the desert, photosynthesis isn't as straightforward. These plants have to deal with extreme temperatures, scarce water supplies, and a limited amount of carbon dioxide. So, how do they manage to survive? The answer lies in a special adaptation known as the C4 photosynthetic pathway. This pathway allows desert plants, such as cacti, to capture carbon dioxide more efficiently and minimize water loss. The C4 pathway involves spatial separation of initial carbon fixation and the Calvin cycle, which is the second part of photosynthesis, where carbon dioxide is converted into sugar. During the heat of the day, when water loss could be detrimental, these plants keep their stomata, the tiny pores in their leaves, closed to prevent water from escaping. But they still need to capture carbon dioxide for photosynthesis, right? That's where the C4 pathway comes into play. It allows these plants to capture and store carbon dioxide in the form of a 4-carbon compound during the day. Then, at night, when it's cooler and the risk of water loss is lower, they convert this stored carbon dioxide into sugar. This adaptation is a beautiful example of how life finds a way, even in the most challenging conditions. By employing the C4 pathway, desert plants are able to make the most of the carbon dioxide they receive, ensuring their survival in these harsh environments. So, desert plants have found a way to make the most of the carbon dioxide they receive. It's a remarkable adaptation that showcases the resilience and tenacity of life in the desert. Water is a precious commodity in the desert. Let's see how desert plants minimize water loss. In the relentless heat of the desert, water is as precious as gold. Desert plants have evolved remarkable strategies to conserve this vital resource, all the while ensuring they capture enough carbon dioxide to fuel their growth and survival. One ingenious way they do this is through the spatial separation of initial carbon fixation and the Calvin cycle, a key component of the photosynthetic process. Picture this: in the stifling midday heat, when the sun's rays are most intense, many plants would lose a significant amount of water through their stomata, the tiny pores in their leaves. But desert plants like cacti have a trick up their sleeve. They employ the C4 photosynthetic pathway, which separates the initial carbon fixation from the Calvin cycle, both spatially and temporally. This clever adaptation allows them to keep their stomata mostly closed during the hottest parts of the day, minimizing water loss while still capturing carbon dioxide efficiently. But wait, there's more. Some desert plants have taken this adaptation a step further. Meet the cam plants, named after crassulacean acid metabolism. These particular types of succulents, including the famous aloe vera and agave plants, perform their carbon fixation at night. Yes, you heard that right, at night. When the cool desert night sets in, these plants open their stomata and capture carbon dioxide, storing it in the form of malic acid. Then, during the day, when the stomata are closed to prevent water loss, the plants convert this stored carbon into carbohydrates, fueling their growth. This nocturnal carbon fixation allows cam plants to minimize water loss to an extraordinary degree, even in the most arid conditions. These plants have truly mastered the art of survival, haven't they? Their adaptability and resilience in the face of harsh desert conditions are nothing short of awe-inspiring. From the clever use of the C4 photosynthetic pathway to the nocturnal carbon fixation of cam plants, desert flora have found innovative ways to thrive where few other organisms can. So, the next time you see a cactus or a succulent, take a moment to appreciate these masters of desert survival. They truly are the champions of water conservation. Despite the harsh conditions, desert plants thrive. But why are these adaptations so important, you might ask? Well, let's dive into it. Desert plants have to make the best use of what they have in their arid homes. But how do they do it? It all boils down to their ability to efficiently capture carbon dioxide and minimize water loss in the process. These adaptations are not just impressive feats of nature. They are crucial survival mechanisms that allow these plants to thrive where others would wither and die. The dark reactions of photosynthesis, also known as the Calvin cycle, play a pivotal role here. They occur in the stroma of the chloroplasts, where carbon dioxide is converted into glucose. This process is energy-intensive, requiring ATP and NADPH, which are produced in the light reactions of photosynthesis. The glucose produced is then used to fuel growth and reproduction in plants. For desert plants, the stakes are even higher. In an environment where water is scarce, they can't afford to waste a single drop. That's where their unique adaptations come into play. By employing the C4 and CAM pathways, these plants are able to minimize water loss while maximizing carbon fixation. C4 plants, like many desert grasses, have evolved a way to concentrate carbon dioxide in specific cells, reducing the chance of water loss from their stomata. CAM plants, on the other hand, take this a step further. They perform their dark reactions at night, when the temperatures are cooler and the risk of water loss is significantly reduced. These adaptations are extraordinary, but more than that, they're crucial. They enable desert plants to produce the carbohydrates they need to survive, even in the harshest of conditions. They are the lifeline that allows these resilient organisms to flourish in their arid homes. But the importance of these adaptations doesn't stop at survival. They also provide valuable insights for scientists and researchers studying climate change and looking for ways to develop drought-resistant crops. In the face of adversity, desert plants have evolved remarkable strategies to not just survive, but thrive. These adaptations are not just extraordinary, they are crucial for the survival of these plants. You might be wondering, why does all this matter? Well, the answers are as vast and layered as the desert landscapes themselves. By delving into the world of desert plants and their unique ability to adapt, we are gaining precious insights into the resilience of life itself. The adaptations these plants have made to survive in such harsh conditions aren't just fascinating. They could also provide solutions to some of our most pressing environmental challenges. Take a moment and picture this: a scientist out in the desert studying the dark reactions of photosynthesis in cacti and succulents. Through their research, they are uncovering the secrets of these plants' survival, and in doing so, they are opening up a world of possibilities. Imagine if we could apply these same principles to our agricultural practices. What if we could engineer crops that utilize the C4 pathway or the crassulacean acid metabolism, just like these desert plants? Imagine crops that could thrive in drought conditions, needing less water to grow and survive. This could revolutionize farming in arid regions, increasing food security and resilience in the face of climate change. And it's not just about agriculture. Understanding these adaptations could also help us mitigate the effects of climate change more broadly. By learning how desert plants capture and store carbon dioxide, we could develop new strategies for carbon sequestration, helping to reduce the amount of this greenhouse gas in our atmosphere. In essence, by studying the dark reactions of desert plants, we are not just learning about the wonders of nature. We are also exploring potential solutions to some of the biggest challenges of our time. So, as we stand on the edge of this vast desert, let's not just see a harsh, unforgiving landscape. Let's see a world of potential, a world of adaptation and survival, a world of solutions. Understanding desert plants could hold the key to some of our biggest environmental challenges. As we wrap up our journey through the desert, it's clear that desert plants are truly remarkable. These resilient organisms have evolved unique strategies to thrive in harsh conditions where many other forms of life could not. From their efficient carbon fixation through the C4 photosynthetic pathway to their ingenious minimization of water loss, desert plants exemplify nature's ability to adapt and survive. In the face of scarcity, these plants have developed specialized anatomical features and biochemical pathways that optimize their use of resources. They've also mastered the art of timing, with some performing the crucial process of carbon fixation at night, when conditions are less harsh. These adaptations are not just fascinating examples of nature's ingenuity, but they also hold valuable lessons for us. The study of these dark reactions in desert plants can inspire new methods for developing drought-resistant crops and strategies for mitigating the effects of climate change. As we face an increasingly warming world, these lessons become even more important. The desert may seem barren at first glance, but it brims with life and lessons in resilience. In every cactus and succulent, we see a testament to life's incredible capacity to adapt and flourish in even the most challenging conditions. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of desert plants and their extraordinary adaptations. Remember, the desert holds many secrets ready to be unveiled.